Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech on the Mind, where we explore how science and innovation are shaping the world around us. Today's story: a brand new HIV drug has just been approved by the FDA, and based on clinical trials, it could almost completely eliminate transmission. This isn't hype. This is historic. Let's break down why this drug might change everything. The drug is called lenacapavir, and it's not just another HIV treatment. It's what scientists are calling a long-acting preventative breakthrough, developed by pharmaceutical giant Gilead Sciences. Now, if you're familiar with HIV prevention, you've probably heard of PrEP. Drugs like Truvada or Descovy, which are taken daily to significantly reduce the risk of infection. They've already changed the game for HIV prevention, but here's the problem. You have to take them every day, like clockwork. And if you miss doses, their effectiveness drops. This is where lenacapavir comes in, because it does something radically different. It's a twice-a-year injection. That's right, 2 shots per year. No pills, no daily routine, no weekly refill reminders. Just 2 injections, 6 months apart, and you're protected from one of the most deadly viruses in modern history. It belongs to a new class of drugs that block HIV replication at the earliest stage. It interferes with the virus's ability to build its protective shell, basically stopping it from ever gaining a foothold in your body. And here's the kicker. Lenacapavir isn't just for people living with HIV to manage viral load. It's a preventative drug for those at risk of exposure. This opens up possibilities we haven't seen before. A future where prevention is nearly effortless, especially for vulnerable populations who may not have the luxury of daily access to healthcare. Now let's dive into the data, because the numbers here aren't just impressive, they're staggering. In a phase 3 clinical trial involving more than 2,000 participants, lenacapavir delivered results that shocked even seasoned researchers. Not a single person who received the drug contracted HIV. 0 transmissions. That's a 100% prevention rate in the study group. To be clear, no medical treatment is ever officially 100% effective in every context. But these numbers show just how reliable this drug could be under real-world conditions. Compare that to daily oral PrEP medications, which offer about 99% protection when taken perfectly. But perfect adherence is rare. People forget doses, skip pills, or stop taking them altogether due to side effects, stigma, or cost. Lenacapavir solves that by eliminating the daily burden. You don't have to remember it. You just get the injection and go on with your life. And that's a game changer for people living in communities where healthcare access is inconsistent, or where stigma makes it dangerous to be seen filling a prescription for HIV meds. It also opens doors for public health programs to reach more people more efficiently, especially in regions with high infection rates and low healthcare infrastructure. Fewer visits, fewer pills, more protection. For the first time in decades, we might be staring down a future where HIV transmission becomes a rare event, if not an entirely preventable one. So who exactly can get lenacapavir right now? As of its approval, lenacapavir is being targeted toward people who are considered high risk for HIV exposure. That includes men who have sex with men, transgender women, and other communities that have historically been hit hardest by the epidemic. These groups have often faced not just higher rates of infection, but also higher levels of stigma, less access to healthcare, and more barriers to consistent prevention. According to the CDC, there are an estimated 1.2 million people in the US who would benefit from some form of PrEP. But here's the kicker. Only about a quarter of them are actually on it. Why? Because daily pills aren't always practical. People forget. Insurance coverage can be a pain. And for many, the fear of being outed just by picking up a prescription can keep them from even trying. Lenacapavir changes that. By reducing the regimen to 2 injections per year, it makes prevention nearly invisible and effortless. No daily pill bottles, no pharmacy runs every month, just long-lasting, discreet protection. And that's not just a big deal in the US. It's potentially revolutionary worldwide. In many countries where HIV rates remain high, daily access to medication is not a guarantee. Healthcare infrastructure can be limited, and long-term adherence to treatment is often difficult. Lenacapavir could help solve that. Its long-acting format is perfectly suited for areas where consistent access to clinics is a challenge. And we're just getting started. There's already talk of expanding lenacapavir's approval to include wider demographics, different age groups, and even alternate delivery formats, like under-the-skin implants. Imagine getting a small implant once a year. That protects you from HIV without you even thinking about it. But that's not just medical progress. That's a public health strategy evolving in real time. This isn't just another treatment. It's a shift in how we approach prevention, access, and equity. So let's zoom out and ask the real question. Why is this such a big deal? Because HIV isn't just a virus. It's a story that's defined generations. It's a crisis that reshaped public health, changed political movements, and brought global attention to issues of inequality, sexuality, and healthcare access. For more than 4 decades, HIV has devastated entire communities, especially in the early years when stigma was everywhere and treatment was basically non-existent. Families were torn apart. Entire cities like San Francisco and New York in the 80s were overwhelmed. And around the world, the toll was even greater. Millions of lives lost, and millions more living with the virus today. Yes, we've come a long way. Today, HIV is no longer a death sentence, thanks to antiretrovirals and PrEP. We've turned what was once a fatal diagnosis into a manageable chronic condition. But even now, in 2025, new infections still happen every day. And for too many people, especially in vulnerable populations, access, consistency, and stigma remain major barriers. That's why this approval feels different. It's not just another incremental improvement. It's not just a better pill. It's a quantum leap forward in how we fight this virus. With lenacapavir, we're not just managing the spread. We're now talking about actively preventing it in a way that's practical, discreet, and radically effective. This drug doesn't just check a box in a clinical trial. It checks the boxes that matter in real life. No daily reminders, no risk of missed doses, no awkward trips to the pharmacy. Just 2 injections a year, quietly, powerfully, and effectively. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is real biotech innovation, meeting people where they are. It's medicine designed to fit human lives, not just lab models. And that's why this moment, this approval, is such a massive deal. Because it means we're not just learning how to survive HIV, we're learning how to stop it. So, what happens next? Right now, Gilead Sciences is working closely with healthcare providers, public health organizations, and global agencies to roll out lenacapavir to the people who need it most. The drug has already received FDA approval, but launching it into the real world is a whole different challenge. And that challenge starts with access. Because, let's be honest, a drug this powerful means little if the people who need it can't afford it, or can't reach it, or don't even know it exists. Gilead has pledged to make the treatment accessible, but so far pricing remains a major concern. In high-income countries, this could be covered by insurance. But in low and middle-income nations, where HIV remains most prevalent, cost could be a deal breaker. That's why public health advocates are pushing for partnerships, bulk purchasing programs, and subsidies from global health organizations like PEPFAR, UNAIDS, and WHO. There's also the issue of education, because no matter how effective a drug is, people won't take it if they don't trust it, or if they've never even heard about it. Outreach campaigns, community engagement, and trusted healthcare workers will be essential in spreading the word. That HIV prevention no longer means daily pills or constant reminders. It can now be as simple as 2 quiet injections a year. And let's not forget distribution logistics. Especially in remote areas or regions with weak health infrastructure, we'll need mobile clinics, well-trained personnel, and smart supply chains to make this drug as common as a flu shot. But even with all those challenges, one thing is absolutely clear. The future of HIV prevention just changed forever. With a tool like lenacapavir, we're no longer talking about managing HIV. We're talking about eliminating its ability to spread, efficiently, discreetly, and at scale. But now we want to hear from you. Is this the medical breakthrough we've been waiting for? Will this be the moment future generations look back on as the turning point in the fight against HIV? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tech innovation and health stories that actually matter. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We've got more game-changing news headed your way. Thanks for watching Tech on the Mind. See you next time.